The Simpsons have been a big defining part of television for over 3 decades, with a cast of characters that spans from the lovable to the loathed. From Homer's bumbling antics to Lisa's intellectual rebellion, these characters have become iconic, resonating with fans on every level. Some are adored for their relatable flaws, while others are loathed for their actions and personalities that rub fans the wrong way. In this breakdown, we'll dive into the most beloved and most hated characters in the Simpsons universe, offering a look at what makes them tick with references to their most defining episodes and moments. Get ready for a deep dive into the characters that have made The Simpsons a cultural touchstone. Let's start with the most loved, beginning with the heart and soul of the family, Homer Simpson. Homer Simpson, the bumbling, impulsive father of the Simpson family, has become a symbol of both comedy and heartfelt emotion.
Take me! Take me!
While Homer often makes one questionable decision after another, his love for his family is undeniable, which makes him a fan favorite in Maggie Makes 3.
Yes! With my bills paid off, I can finally quit this lousy job!
Homer's decision to quit his dream job at a bowling alley to work at the power plant for the sake of his family is a heart-wrenching moment.
Yes? Are you a new applicant?
Actually, I quit and I came to get my job back.
Through there.
Come crawling back, eh?
Seems like the classy thing to do would be not to call attention to it.
The episode beautifully illustrates Homer's selflessness and the lengths that he'll go for his family.
I've got to carry the burden all by myself. I hate my job, I hate my life, and ever since I found out about this baby, there's been nothing but bad luck.
Even though he's often portrayed as a clueless, lazy fool, in Homer the Heretic,
I never want to leave this bed.
Homer's desire for personal freedom leads him to skip church and enjoy a day of leisure.
I wear short shorts.
However, after realizing how much he values his family traditions, Homer returns to the fold, reinforcing that despite his many flaws, he deeply cares about his loved ones. This episode emphasizes the internal struggle that Homer faces between personal desires and family responsibility.
Would you give church another try?
I'll be there next Sunday, front row center.
Additionally, in the Simpsons movie, Homer rises to the occasion, taking on the role of the family's reluctant hero to save Springfield. His goofy charm and willingness to step up despite his lack of skills make him an unlikely hero and prove why he is so beloved. He's not perfect, but he is perfect for his family. Marge Simpson. Marge Simpson often plays the role of the unsung hero, balancing the chaos that surrounds her with unwavering patience and love. While Homer takes center stage as the comic figure, Marge's calm demeanor and maternal wisdom makes her one of the most beloved characters. Her devotion to her family is most evident in Marge versus the Monorail.
Well, surely you've all noticed the terrible condition Main Street is in. Many of us have destroyed it by leaving winter chains on our tires and carrying too much weight.
Woohoo! Look at that pavement fly!
Where she is the lone voice of reason against the town's obsession with the monorail. In this episode, Marge's practicality and sense of responsibility shine, making her a figure that fans respect for keeping the family grounded. In Marge in Chains,
You did not pay for this bottle of Colonel Quickie Mart's Kentucky bourbon.
No,
All right, come out with your hands up. An auto freshener that says Capricorn and something with coconut on it.
Marge's character is put to the test when she is wrongfully arrested for shoplifting. This episode delves into Marge's vulnerability and pressures that she faces while maintaining the family's stability. Her emotional growth throughout the episode shows her dedication to doing what's best for her family even when life is unfair.
So I don't want to push anything. We can just hold hands or sit and talk. Whoa!
The episode also highlights her importance as the town's moral center. Perhaps one of the most touching moments for Marge comes in And Maggie Makes 3, where Marge supports Homer's decision to take a job that he doesn't love in order to provide for the family.
There will be exactly enough money for you, me, Bart, and Lisa if we make a few small sacrifices.
This episode highlights her ability to accept sacrifice for the greater good of her family, enforcing why she is a fan favorite, a loving mother, and a supporting wife, who is the glue that holds everything together. Bart Simpson. Bart Simpson, the mischievous, prank-pulling son of the Simpsons family, has become one of the most iconic characters in animation. His troublemaking ways are often seen as emblematic of his youthful rebellion, but beneath the pranks and catchphrases like "Eat my shorts,"
I was merely trying to fend off the desecration of the school building. Eat my shorts. Pardon?
lies a more sensitive side of him that endears him to fans. In Bart Gets an F,
Well, Bart, it's a 59. That's another F.
Oh, no. I can't believe it.
Bart faces the consequences of his mischief, revealing his vulnerability and struggle to succeed in school.
I know it, you know it, I am dumb, okay? Dumb as a post. Think I'm happy about it?
There, Bart. You're just a late bloomer.
His effort to pass a test, despite his history underachievement, resonates with viewers, making his triumphs all the more satisfying.
Due to the difficulty and relative obscurity of the reference, you deserve an extra point on your exam.
Pass?
Just barely.
I passed! I got a D-.
Bart vs. Thanksgiving highlights another emotional moment for Bart. After accidentally destroying the family's Thanksgiving centerpiece, he runs away, causing Marge to worry.
My sweet little Bart.
Hello, operator. Give me the number for 911.
His heartfelt apology and return home shows the complexity of his character, as it becomes clear that his love for his family outweighs his rebellious antics. This episode shows that despite his devil-may-care attitude, Bart still cares deeply about his family. In Bart the Daredevil, Bart attempts a dangerous stunt to impress his friends, leading to a series of hilarious but risky situations. It's episodes like this that showcase Bart's fearless personality and wild imagination, which has earned him a special place in fans' hearts. His energy, coupled with moments where he reveals his deeper emotions, makes him both a troublemaker and a character that fans cannot help but love. Lisa Simpson. Lisa Simpson, the intellectually gifted and often misunderstood middle child of the Simpson family, has become a symbol of intellect and moral clarity. In Mr. Lisa Goes to Washington.
Congratulations. You and your family are going to Washington.
Woohoo! Who would have guessed reading and writing would pay off?
Lisa's win in a national essay contest takes her to Washington, D.C., where she becomes disillusioned by the corruption that she encounters. This episode highlights Lisa's strong sense of justice and her willingness to stand up for what she believes in, even faced with overwhelming opposition. Lisa's idealism and unwavering morality make her a standout character, and she's often the voice of reason in the chaotic world of Springfield. In Lisa the Vegetarian,
Loved me. I can't eat a poor little lamb.
Lisa makes the bold decision to become a vegetarian after learning about the cruelty involved in factory farming. Her resolve to live according to her convictions, even when her family disagrees.
What's the difference between this lamb and the one that kissed me? This one spent 2 hours in the broiler.
Shows Lisa's strength of character. Her quest for knowledge and understanding often sets her apart, making her the show's moral center. Maggie Simpson. Maggie Simpson, the youngest member of the Simpsons family, is often the quiet observer, but her actions speak volumes.
My, you've grown. What?
As a baby, Maggie is rarely given the same amount of screen time as her older siblings, but when she does have a moment in the spotlight, it's always a memorable one. In Who Shot Mr. Burns,
Taking the candy proved exceedingly difficult.
Maggie's unexpected involvement in the shooting of Mr. Burns became a pivotal moment in Simpsons history, showing that even the youngest Simpson can have a significant role to play in the family's dynamic.
Officer, arrest the baby.
No jury in the world's gonna convict a baby.
Besides, she didn't mean it. It was an accident.
In Midnight Towboy,
Maggie!
Maggie has one of her most poignant moments when she single-handedly saves her father from a rival tow truck driver who locked him up in a basement. She manages to steer the tow truck and get him out of harm's way, effectively saving him. This is a significant moment where Maggie's bravery and resourcefulness come through. Even though she is still an infant, her unspoken bravery and determination reveal her own quiet strength, despite the fact that she hasn't spoken a word yet. Maggie's moments of agency, however rare, have led to her becoming one of the most treasured characters among fans, as she often represents the innocent yet capable youngest member of the Simpsons family, who, despite being silent, is always there when needed. Milhouse Van Houten.
Oh, I hate these flood pants. Hey, they're working. Everything's coming up Millhouse.
Milhouse Van Houten, Bart's best friend, is the quintessential loser in the world of Springfield.
I am very passionate about the planet.
Say global warming is a myth.
It's a myth. Further study is needed. Oh!
With his geeky appearance and constant misfortunes, Milhouse is the perfect foil to Bart's more rebellious nature, and yet Milhouse's genuine loyalty and earnestness makes him a surprisingly sympathetic character. He may not be the most popular kid in school, but his undying devotion to Bart and his hopeless crush on Lisa.
Lisa, Colin's dead. But his last words were, Milhouse, take care of Lisa. Hold her hand. I got her all warmed up for ya.
Make him a figure many fans can relate to. His loyalty and selfless nature often lead him to being the butt of the joke, but his deep emotional range, from his crush on Lisa to his longing for acceptance, make him one of the most emotionally resonant characters in the series.
This is no fun without Bart. He used to watch me while I did this.
And his character remains one of the most beloved, despite his lack of success in most situations. Chief Wiggum. Chief Clancy Wiggum, Springfield's incompetent and lazy police officer, provides plenty of laughs while embodying the epitome of ineffective authority. Wiggum's ineptitude is evident in nearly every episode he appears on, but his affable nature and loyalty to his family have made him a beloved character in the show's ensemble. Wiggum's relationship with his family, particularly his son Ralph, shows his softer side, especially in episodes like I Love Lisa.
Here you go, Ralph.
You choose me?
Happy Valentine's.
Where Ralph's antics create chaos. What starts as an innocent gesture soon spirals into an awkward and overwhelming experience for Lisa.
I'm so glad you chose to come. I think you should give that a rest, Ralph.
As Ralph misinterprets her kindness as romantic interest. But it's also where Ralph's Valentine's Day storyline highlights his relationship with his father. In The Springfield Connection,
You think you're pretty hot, huh? Well, we got everything we need on you.
Wiggum's failure as a police officer is put on full display as he struggles with the consequences of his incompetence. But even in the face of failure, his penchant for quoting outdated catchphrases and his ability to deal with crises adds to his comedic charm. Wiggum's bumbling nature makes him a key figure in Springfield's satirical portrayal of the American justice system, and his lovable flaws cement him as one of the series' enduring characters. Apu Nahasapima Petalan. Apu Nahasapima Petalan, the hardworking and perpetually positive owner of the Quickie Mart, is another iconic character who has seen both admiration and controversy. Apu's deep commitment to his work, his family, and his community made him a central part of the Springfield landscape. In Homer and Apu,
Pooh, will you ever stop selling spoiled meat?
No. Yes.
Homer's reckless behavior leads to Apu losing his job at the Quickie Mart, which brings a whole new level of vulnerability to Apu's character. This episode showcases Apu's complexity and his loyalty to his job, as well as his deep sense of pride. In 8 Misbehavin' of The Simpsons,
This shall be the jewel of our lives.
Oh, now say hello to your other 7 children.
What?
Apu and his wife Manjula are blessed with octuplets, which dramatically changes their lives. This episode highlights Apu's struggles with family responsibilities, reflecting a common theme throughout the series about the balance between personal ambition and family life. Apu's love for his family is most clearly demonstrated in The 2 Mrs. Nahasapima Petalans, where his relationship with his wife Manjula is explored. After they marry, Apu's feelings of inadequacy emerge, but his devotion to making his family happy and secure are central to the episode. Apu's moral compass and commitment to his community makes him a deeply admired character, even though his portrayal has faced criticism for cultural stereotyping over the years. Nelson Muntz. Nelson Muntz stands out as one of the most iconic characters in The Simpsons. Known primarily as the school bully, he is instantly recognized by his trademark "ha-ha," which he uses to torment classmates like Martin Prince and Milhouse Van Houten. But Nelson's character is much more layered than just a typical schoolyard tormentor. His tough, often malicious exterior is a defense mechanism built from years of emotional neglect and a broken home life. Raised by a neglectful mother and with little guidance from his absentee father, Nelson's hardened personality is understandable. He uses his tough guy act to guard himself from the world, but in reality, he's just a kid who's been forced to grow up too fast. This emotional depth is often explored in subtle ways throughout the series. One moment defines their twisted bond in The Ha-Hot Couple.
I know it seems a little quiet. Must be a lot of traffic today.
When Bart, forced to attend Nelson's failed birthday party, becomes his only guest, and they share an honest laugh. For the first time, Nelson isn't a bully, he's just a lonely kid. Bart enjoys the perks of his friendship, protection, and status, but balks when Nelson demands total loyalty. After Nelson scares him off for hanging out with Milhouse, their friendship implodes until a near drowning forces Nelson to save Bart's life. Not out of love, but to snarl, "You're a bad friend." In the end, Bart realizes Nelson's friendship was flawed but real, and part of him will always miss it. Another key episode that shows more complexity in Nelson's character is the Burns cage.
Lots of us never get to do things.
Yeah, we know. We heard your song.
When Mr. Burns and Waylon Smithers' relationship becomes a central plot, Nelson steps up in a way that surprises viewers too.
No waters in Casablanca.
I was misinformed.
Rather than just acting like the stereotypical school bully, he lends his support to Smithers in a gesture that proves that he is capable of kindness and empathy. The episode turns Nelson into an unexpected hero, showing that there's more to him than just being the schoolyard troublemaker. Throughout the series, Nelson's character fluctuates between being a bully and revealing glimpses of a boy in need of love and understanding. His emotional development might be slow, but often moments like these show that Nelson is much more than the one-dimensional bully people often think him to be. There's a humanity to Nelson that's revealed not just in the laughter and teasing, but in his quieter, more reflective moments. Ned Flanders. Ned Flanders, the overly cheerful and religious next-door neighbor of The Simpsons, has always been the foil to Homer's more chaotic lifestyle. Flanders' unshakable positivity and his strict adherence to his Christian beliefs have made him a polarizing character in Springfield. However, the way that he endlessly endures Homer's pranks and rudeness with a polite smile has made him a beloved character for many fans.
I'm whizzing with the door open, and I love it.
In Homer the Heretic, Ned's role as the diligent churchgoer is put on full display when Homer decides to skip church to enjoy a day off. Our guy Flanders genuinely cares for Homer. He even tries to save Homer from his burning house after he falls asleep in the living room of his literally burning house.
Dear Lord, may your loving hand guide Homer to the mattress square and true.
In Homer Loves Flanders,
I'd like to introduce Ned Flanders, my best friend.
Homer comes to appreciate Flanders after a series of events where Flanders proves his kind-heartedness.
Idly ho, neighbor. Want to go to the game with me? I got 2 tickets.
This is Ned Flanders, my friend.
What do you say?
I don't know, something about being gay.
This episode shows that while Homer often mocks Flanders, he actually admires him in his own way.
How dare you talk about Ned Flanders like that? He's a wonderful, kind, caring man.
Ned's optimism, even in the face of tragedy, is most evident in Alone Again, Natura Diddly, where he loses his wife Maud in a tragic accident.
Oh my lord, she's dead!
Ned's perseverance in the face of grief makes him a character fans sympathize with.
It would have been a lot better if you'd said I love you or you're special. You know, something sweet instead of that hot dog crap.
And his infectious cheerfulness helps him maintain his likability, even when his overbearing attitude can be frustrating to others. Krusty the Clown. Krusty the Clown, Springfield's cynical and disillusioned television personality, has become one of the show's most enduring characters. His gruff demeanor and often inappropriate behavior contrasts sharply with the sunny disposition typically expected of children's entertainers. However, underneath his jaded exterior, Krusty is a deeply flawed yet vulnerable character who finds himself in situations that highlight his humanity.
Important thing is, we're like a family.
Krusty,
Shut your hole!
In Krusty Gets Cancelled, Krusty's fall from grace is explored as he faces being replaced by a newer, younger, and more successful clown.
Oh, Gabbo, you'll say anything. And you can watch us every afternoon at 4.
This episode reveals Krusty's insecurities, making him a character that fans love to root for despite his many faults.
I've had plenty of guys come after me, and I've buried them all. He's not even alive. He's dead.
In Clowns in the Dumps, Krusty faces a personal crisis after the death of his father.
Oh, God, he's dead. And he never lived to see me be successful.
revealing that Krusty's abrasive exterior is a coping mechanism for deep emotional pain.
Seriously, it can be really tough to lose your father.
This episode marks a turning point for Krusty, as it explores the vulnerability behind his clownish persona.
Big, needy nothing that only laughs can fill.
I don't need laughs.
Despite his flaws, Krusty's journey from a child star to cynical adult to the figure of redemption makes him one of the most beloved characters, with a depth that resonates from fans long after the laughter subsides. Moving on to the most hated characters of the series, Mr. Burns. Charles Montgomery Burns, the wealthy and ruthless owner of the Springfield nuclear power plant, is one of the most iconic villains in television history. While he is the embodiment of corporate greed and moral decay, there is something irresistibly entertaining about his over-the-top
I grudgingly accept.
Mr. Burns sells the nuclear plant to a group of Germans, only for it to turn disastrous as he loses control of his empire. The moment Burns realizes his power is slipping away from him is both tragic and hilarious. In Who Shot Mr. Burns, Part 1,
Soon that mighty apparatus will burst forth with its precious fluid. Almost sexual, isn't it, Smithers?
Burns' behavior reaches its peak when he goes on a rampage to get back at the townspeople, stealing their land and causing havoc. His evil is comically exaggerated, making him one of the most memorable characters in the show's history. Burns is a character whose dark nature brings endless conflict to Springfield, but also drives some of the series' most memorable moments. The moment that crystallizes Mr. Burns' evil is in Last Exit to Springfield.
I am going to avenge my grandfather. We'll take on that greedy union dental plan.
When he eliminates the dental plan for Springfield's nuclear power plant workers, just to fund a giant diamond for himself, as union families struggle to afford basic care. Lisa's braces become a plot point too. What makes this monstrous isn't just the greed, it's the precision of his cruelty. He doesn't just win, he savors the humiliation of the working class. The episode's climax, where Burns, cornered by the Union, fake tries to manipulate them, reveals his true genius. He weaponizes pity. Patty and Selma Bouvier. These two characters rank among The Simpsons' most despised because they weaponize misery without the charm of the other villains. Chain-smoking, cynical, and endlessly bitter, they resolve special vitriol for Homer. Marge's great-aunt Gladys Bouvier dies, and The Simpsons, Patty, and Selma attend her funeral.
He never... That's a woman? Dear Lord.
In Selma's Choice, Patty and Selma are revealed to have a deeply bitter outlook on life. While Selma tries to adopt a child as a means to fill the void in her life,
I want a baby.
their cynicism toward others, especially Homer,
He's hugging us. What do we do? Just close your eyes and think of MacGyver.
is apparent. They sabotage his attempts to bond with the family and mock his constant failures, all for their own amusement.
Kids, what do you say you go get your Aunt Selma's beer smoothie?
In Homer vs. Patty and Selma, Homer faces financial difficulties, and he reluctantly borrows money from Patty and Selma.
Take care of you. Yes, care.
They seize this opportunity to humiliate him, showcasing their hypocritical nature by reveling in his misfortune, while often displaying their own shortcomings. In Principal Charming,
Fatter and uglier. Please, Marge, help me find a man.
Selma is desperate to find love, and Marge enlists Homer to help her. However, when Homer sets up Principal Skinner with Patty instead...
But if you weren't married to your job, you tend to go for a girl, right?
Hell, these pants come off at night just like everybody else's.
Selma feels betrayed.
Patty, the Parents Advisory Board has asked that I attend the... Interested in joining me?
Rather than supporting her sister's happiness, Selma resents the situation.
Skin like a china doll, and bosoms till Tuesday.
Showing how she and Patty can be just as selfish and manipulative as they accuse Homer of being. Their bitterness often leads them to undermine others, including each other, which adds to their reputation as two of the most joyless characters in The Simpsons. Sideshow Bob. Sideshow Bob, Krusty the Clown's former sidekick, is one of the most entertaining and diabolical villains in The Simpsons. What makes Bob so compelling is not just his intelligence, but the fact that he is both a tragic and humorous character. Though he started as a mere foil for Krusty, Bob's character has evolved into one of the most iconic recurring antagonists in the show. His devious plots are often executed with a level of sophistication, making him both frightening and darkly hilarious. In Cape Fear,
Dad, I saw Sideshow Bob and he threatened to kill me.
Bob's plan to kill Bart Simpson takes center stage, culminating in one of the most memorable episodes in the show's history. The tension between Bob and Bart is a testament to their complex relationship, where Bob is obsessed with revenge, and yet it's clear that his obsession stems from a deeper, more personal place. His hatred for Bart is legendary, but it's the comedic timing and the over-the-top scenarios and the interactions with the Simpsons family that elevate his character. Despite his villainous tendencies, Bob is portrayed as a highly educated and cultured man, often referencing classical music, literature, and philosophy. This intellectualism, combined with his ridiculous criminal schemes, create a contrast that fans find endlessly entertaining. Principal Skinner. Principal Seymour Skinner is the long-suffering, often out-of-his-depth school principal who's been a central figure in Springfield's elementary chaotic world. At the beginning of the series, he's depicted as being a disciplined and no-nonsense authority figure, but over time, Skinner has evolved into a character filled with insecurities, flaws, and frequent moments of failure. His relationship with his overbearing mother, Agnes Skinner, is one of the most central comedic aspects of his character. Agnes's constant criticism and control over him makes Skinner both a symbol of frustration and sympathy. Skinner's attempts to assert authority are often undermined by his fair share of shortcomings, whether he's dealing with the chaos of the school or trying and failing to maintain control in various situations. Skinner frequently ends up as the butt of the joke. His rigid behavior and tyrannical approach to discipline often make him a figure of ridicule. In episodes like Skinner's Sense of Snow,
I don't care if you're Christy Yamaguchi. No one leaves the building.
where Skinner tries to keep children under control during a snowstorm, his attempts to bring order to chaos show his inability to truly command respect, making him an object of mockery rather than admiration. His moments of failure, especially when it comes to trying to assert authority, only add to the frustration that viewers feel towards him. While some might sympathize with his tragic backstory and mild manner, many find his antics annoying rather than endearing. Ralph Wiggum. Ralph Wiggum, the sweet yet incredibly naive son of Chief Wiggum, has become a fan favorite, but not always for the right reasons. Known for his bizarre, nonsensical dialogue and his unusual behavior, Ralph is often portrayed as the show's innocent, albeit odd, child. His unintentionally funny quips and surreal observations have made him an iconic character, but many fans point out that his eccentric nature can be off-putting. While his awkwardness and oddness are often played for laughs, such as when he unknowingly eats poisonous berries and happily exclaims,
It tastes like burning.
"It tastes like burning!" His lack of self-awareness and strange actions sometimes cross the line from funny to uncomfortable. For example, in the Simpsons movie, Ralph has moments where his bizarre behavior and unsettling actions can make him more eerie than endearing. Despite his strange behavior, Ralph's simple view of the world and his innocent charm do garner a lot of love from some viewers. However, his oddness can wear thin quickly for others. His strange and often disturbing statements and actions make him a polarizing character, with some finding him endearing while others find his quirkiness grating. Judge Snyder. Judge Snyder is the inept and cowardly judge who often appears in The Simpsons as an incompetent authority figure. His complete lack of spine and ability to make meaningful decisions makes him one of the more disliked characters in the series. Snyder's frequent moments of moral cowardice and his tendency to follow whatever is the most convenient at the time often leave him making nonsensical or unfair decisions. In episodes such as Judge Me Tender, Judge Snyder is seen as being weak-willed and unable to handle the cases that come his way. He has little authority and often resorts to relying on others to make decisions for him. His failure as a judge, paired with his lack of backbone and easy manipulation by more dominant characters, make him frustrating to watch. Fans of The Simpsons often find his character more irritating than humorous, and his role as a joke figure in the justice system keeps him squarely in the most hated category. As we wrap up our look at the most loved and hated characters in The Simpsons, it's clear that the show's brilliance lies in its unforgettable cast. From Homer's lovable flaws to Mr. Burns' villainous schemes, these characters have shaped the world of Springfield into a place that feels like home, no matter how chaotic. Whether they make us laugh, cringe, or reflect on our own lives, each character plays a crucial role in making The Simpsons the cultural phenomenon that it is today. And as the show continues, who knows which new faces will join the ranks of Springfield's most iconic figures. Thanks for joining us on this character breakdown. Stay tuned for more insights into the ever-evolving world of The Simpsons.